Good evening, folks. Welcome to Beer Rating with Sean Connors, the final day of our Advent calendar. Day 24. We've had amazing selection of beers, combinations that I've never ever considered, like a green cracker port, a pina colada sour, a coffee pale ale. I mean, I don't know who comes up with these combinations, but job well done. Alright, so basically it's a typical Advent calendar. It's a box of beer, 24 doors. Behind every door is a beer. And each beer, they've never been sold in Canada, and they've all won gold medals. So we know it's the last day, and the only one we haven't had is our Triple, which is our highest alcohol content beer at 10.0% alcohol. So we know that's today's beer. And in case you're wondering what you're hearing, this little guy every now and then, he likes to make an appearance. So you'll probably hear him throughout the video. Every now and then, he decides to be quite vocal during the videos. So this is going to be a Triple, and it says, "Welcome to Miami, MIA Beer Company, Tourist Trappe, Belgian-style Triple Ale." And it is 10% alcohol. I was looking for alcohol content, but we know that. So Triple is obviously Belgian-style, and my understanding is it's normally either a Trappist brewery or an Abbey brewery. What else? I said in the last video I was kind of confused because we really had a quadruple, which was 9.5% alcohol, and I was always under the impression that triple and quadruple referred to the alcohol content, so I thought, well, wouldn't a quadruple be higher alcohol content than a triple? And from my understanding, a little bit of limited knowledge that I do have on beer, a quick Google search last night, the quadruples are fairly new. I think they came about in the 1990s, more of an American thing than a Belgium, whereby the duples and the triples they've been around for a century or two. And my understanding, I'm not 100% correct, but it has to do with a triple would have 3 times the amount of malt, which normally results in a higher alcohol content. And my understanding is that breweries back in the day, when most people were illiterate, their regular beer would just be marked with an X. A duple, also known as a double, would be double X, and a triple would be 3X. And they were normally higher alcohol contents. It went double, a double and a triple. However, the double would be double alcohol content of the beer for that brewery, and the triple would be triple. So it's not necessarily, there is a specific range, but it also depends on the brewery. And if that's not correct, that's my understanding. Like I said, I'm not a beer expert by any means. So if anybody can shed more light on it, by all means, make a comment and let us know. So I've already given my glass a quick cold water rinse. I'm using the snifter, which is quite common for high alcohol beers. It's just basically the big bowl that's the volatiles come out. You handle by the stem so you're not warming up the beer with your hand. So, and from what I understand, and normally a double or double and a quadruple are normally kind of darker beers, whereas a triple is normally more golden in color. And sure enough, that's what we're getting. These beers are known for a little bit of a bang for your buck type of thing. The 10% alcohol. And normally I find a lot of high alcohol contents at like 10%. For me, I'm not a big hard liquor drinker, and so if I can taste the alcohol, that's really not something that I enjoy. And some beers, I mean, you can literally, with the high alcohol contents, you can literally taste the alcohol. Okay, it's got a unique aroma. A little bit of head and didn't stick around. It's almost like an orange color. Had a little bit of head, but didn't last too long. Interesting. Really unique taste to it too, but it's something I've tasted before, and chances are it's probably in another Belgian-style ale. There's not a lot of information on the can. Sometimes they give you a little story about the beer or the brewery. There's nothing there, but I'll zoom in just so you can see it. Like I said, not a lot of information on the can, but I have a gander and so you can see it. Alright, so I'm not quite sure what to think of it quite yet. Before I give my rating, I want to take a couple more sips. And my ratings, as always, out of 5, with a 1 being a drain pour, don't like it, can't finish it. A 2 would be a, yeah, I'm not a fan, but I'll finish it. A 3 would be a good beer, and a 5 would be the best beer I've ever had. 3 would be a good beer, a 4 would be a very good beer, and a 5 would be the best beer I've ever had. Definitely unique, it's different. It definitely gives you, if you're familiar with the Belgian style, definitely would familiar aroma and taste. It almost reminds me a little bit, almost like it's with the wheat beers. You can sometimes get the banana clove flavor. And I don't see anything indicating this has any wheat in it, because it doesn't list the ingredients, which is rather different, because normally in Canada I thought it was by law they had to list it, but obviously not. Rating wise, I'm not quite sure. As I said, all these beers, kudos to the what do they call themselves, the craft, well, it's called Craft, Canada's premium craft beer importers. Kudos, you guys, great job with the calendar. Weren't all favorite beers of mine, or beers I enjoy, but I love experiencing new beers, and I definitely got that. Yesterday's, 2 days ago, I really liked the Red Dawn. I'm going to give this a basic rating 3.0, which means it's a good beer. It's very unique for me, but like I said, it does remind me of something. I'm thinking either a wheat beer or another Belgian beer I've had. For a high alcohol beer at 10%, I wouldn't really, if I didn't know the alcohol content, I wouldn't think it was that high. So I'm sure you get a little bit of bang for your buck there. So I think I'm going to stick with my 3.0 for our last beer, the Tourist Trappe, Belgian-style triple ale. Definitely worthwhile, worth checking out. I'm just going to lay that there, finish off my pyramid. There you go, folks, 3.0 for our last beer. Once again, kudos to the organizer of this. See what you bring out next year. Normally every year I try something different, so we'll go with there. I'm glad you could join me for the last 24 days. For any viewers that just joined us within the last 40 days, feel free to keep viewing the videos. I normally do them on a weekly basis, but that depends. Sometimes I might do an extra one, sometimes I might skip a week. Right now I have several beers that I'm going to try. Next week I have a Mummer's Ale from a local brewery here in Newfoundland. I also have another local brewery, believe it or not. It's called, the beer itself is called Wild Bologna, and believe it or not, it is made with real Bologna. And I don't know what to expect from that. When I seen it, I said, that can't be right. I had to try it. It's an IPA, which I'm usually not a fan of, but I mean, a beer made from Bologna, I gotta try it. I had several people, actually, I posted a picture on the Facebook group, I believe, and several people said they have tried it. It was decent, so I have to give it a try. And I also have a set of Trappist beers from, is it Chimay from Belgium. So I think they have 3 different beers in that package, so I'll try them one by one and see what we got. So by all means, folks, if you can join us for future videos, I'd love to have you come along for a ride. There's always beers out there that I haven't tried, so I'm always going to manage to find something. And I'll give you my 2 cents of what I thought it was worth. So with that, folks, I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and like I said, hopefully you can join me next week. We'll try our Mummer's Ale, and then we'll get into a couple of other ones I have there. Once again, great job in the box. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope you have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Until next brew, as always, enjoy responsibly. Cheers.